Hi everybody, today we're gonna make you good with the bad guy. Now Sol's an aggressor, taking advantage of good plus frames and layering the opponent blocking their hits to crank up that risk meter and make them fear the moment he pops them like a grape. Not only this, but he bolsters some really good reversal moves to take back pressure and challenge opponents who are not airtight with their strings. When it comes to his DPs, the heavy one you'll see later for comboing, but if you're challenging the opponent, use Slash, as its recovery is so much less and you can get right back into the game. They even had to nerf it because before it was almost unpunishable on whiff. For anti-airing, 6P is of course a great one as it has really nice follow-ups on counter hit, but the goated one is 5K. And now this button does everything. It's a great anti-air, his best move for challenging pressure as a tied with chip for the only 3 frame moves in the game. Its only weakness is that it is so good that you can develop an over-reliance on it. I heavily stress you, just because it is a multi-scenario move, you need to recognize why it's working in each scenario. Because it's so good, there are chances that you might think that it will beat certain options a character has, but really it's that opponent not being airtight with their strings. And then when you fight someone who is competent, you'll get yourself blown up in situations that you could have escaped. Which is why if you're trying to escape pressure, you can also opt for his standing and crouching punches, as they're 4 and 5 frames respectively, and by gatling them will push the opponent away. Forward heavy slash is also an excellent way to punish opponents trying to pressure you, as its range is phenomenal, letting you punish a lot of moves that you otherwise couldn't reach. While it grounds normally on hit, it also bounces the opponent up for easy follow-ups on counter hit, and is Sol's best button for OTG damage if you're trying to close out the round. Now as far as lows go, he doesn't have many, but they are quite strong, with 2K being quite fast at 6 frames and being cancelable into his crouching dusts, which given its hard knockdown allows him to go into his terrifying pressure. Now for Sol's pressure himself, he has a really strong strike throw game because of access to a command grab wild throw. While there is no follow-up without meter, it is immune to all other throws, literally every other throw. No pot buster, no Jacko super slam, none of it. This makes the threat of his run up normal throw that much scarier because the opponent needs to rely more on read than reaction to throw tech. This compounds with his threats of hitboxes, in which case he's a slash button man through and through. Close slash and far slash are both plus on block, 3 and 2 frames respectively, and have many uses. Far slash is really reflective of his aggressive nature, as it's a really easy way to travel some distance on the screen with a hitbox and has pretty low recovery. While someone can punish the startup if you try to do it endlessly, gatling into 5H will cause the opponent to explode if they get hit. By mixing up your rhythm of this and making them respect you, suddenly running up and close slash or going into grab or wild throw comes onto the table. Close slash is so good because not only is it plus 3 frames on block that we talked about, it has 6 active frames, making it really reliable for meeting the opponent on wake up, provided you know that they won't invincible reversal you. And then we have forward slash, which is an amazing mid-range space control. It is only -7 on block, so it is nigh unpunishable near the end of the hitbox. This move combined with Gunflame is excellent mid-range space control. This is also the best button to use to Kara his special moves, such as Kara DP for his really advanced combos, and making a ton of his special moves travel even further forward. Now this aggressive nature that I've mentioned is really reflected by the fact that he has 4 special moves that advance him towards the opponent. Now Bandit Bringer does have its uses. It is safe if you have spaced it far enough away, or if you're using it in the air, you can get some timing mix-ups on your opponent by halting your air momentum and the amount that you charge it. But honestly, if you are learning Sol, you should try to not use this move much at all. You really don't want an over-reliance on it, and these other moves are way more integral to his game plan. Fafnir is this lunge that does high damage on hit and even block, and is comboed into Night Raid Vortex on counter hit or not, with better confirms off of the counter hit of course. This can be grabbed however during its long startup, so make sure you keep that in mind and space it appropriately if you're trying to get someone on wake up. Night Raid Vortex is the great follow-up for Fafnir, as well as a counter hit forward slash, and is able to low profile many hits and projectiles, and is unique in that it travels as long as you are holding down the button. While punishable on block, with meter it becomes a great get-in tool, especially once you fast RC for grabs or fast buttons. Now both Fafnir and Night Raid Vortex are non-special cancelable, so mastery of them not only requires knowing their timings, but also those of all your moves. So truly be lenient with your expectations when you're starting out. It'll all come to you as you get more experience. Finally, we have Bandit Revolver, maybe his most important special move. This will cause him to lunge forward, and while this first hit is minus on block, the ability of it to follow up with a second hit that does a strong counter hit should the opponent press buttons means that they really have to respect this move. You'll be using this as a follow-up to get in, take pressure, a lot of things. So now that you have an understanding of Sol's strong buttons and why the opponent needs to respect them, here's what you do when you finally catch them slipping. Now, Sol has many routes, but boiling it down starting out, there's a simple plan to follow. You want to get your opponent in the air and be able to 5k them, as this will open up a couple different paths. One is taking them to the air. Very strong in mid-screen to corner area, as landing a slash into JD will bounce the opponent off the wall and allow you to play some ping pong. The other is strong anywhere, which is dash canceling a fully extended 5k, allowing you to run a long distance before 5k'ing again. A simple ender string for this, which you can also use if you're 5k'ing out of someone's pressure, is going into far slash and then both hits of Bandit Revolver. Getting this dash cancel down will elevate your Sol immensely when you're starting out. Any way that you can get the opponent in the air, such as close slash into 2H, can be followed up by the first hit of Bandit Revolver flying in, allowing you to go into this kick and whichever follow-up is suitable for where you are on screen. This leap in is great for allowing you to get right in your opponent's face on any grounded counter hit, such as a standing heavy slash or even far slash counter hit. Now, in the corner, if you're wondering why sometimes when you 5H, the opponent is standing, or sometimes it bounces them against the wall, if the opponent is technically airborne or in their like starting to fall down in a tumble, and you 5H them, then they will bounce off the wall. But if they are standing, such as you just getting a raw far slash, they will continue standing and won't get that tumble. Close slash technically puts them a little in the air when he gut punches them, so that's why you can follow up a close slash and get these juggles on the wall with even 2 heavy slashes. Now, once you start getting more comfortable and get a feel of when the wall is about to break, Sol's strongest ender before them getting splatted is the clean hit of his heavy slash DP. In fact, this is even a suitable punish mid-screen if you're really early on before things start getting scaled, because it does so much damage and hard knockdowns. Now, this is the most difficult technique. I can barely even pull it off to show you, but Kara canceling into this heavy slash DP is possible, just very difficult because the slash version of the DP exists. The best recommendation I can give is do it during maybe a standing kick, as that is long enough to give you time to buffer forward and S, and then before that move can even start to come out, do the down diagonal with heavy slash. You'll always know that you're getting the clean hit of the DP if there's a little bit of a freeze frame. Now remember, it's impossible to Kara DP in neutral, so don't keep on doing it and bash your head into a wall like, why isn't it working? Because it will never. Before you start aiming for those, just first try and time it that you might get it as they're falling back to you from a jump dust against the wall. It's also possible in the corner to land one and then follow up with a combo after, but it's very tight timing depending on weight. The only areas this works is if you hit them while airborne with a 5k or a counter hit close slash, but I find that the 5k is much easier. You can take advantage of this hard knockdown by doing something like a 2S into Gunflame, as this is a really nice meaty wake up option that you can run in behind and stay safe from, and maybe bait a burst. If you learn everything that I listed prior, this will be more than enough for you to start piloting Sol. And what does it all look like when you put it together? But really, there is still more that you can learn, so here are some final tricks to take advantage of once your opponent starts to be fearful and you are in command of your character. When you have meter, when you whiff a throw and go right into PRC, this can allow you to punish a backdash using 5k, which can be followed up easily because the backdash counts as the opponent being airborne, letting you go into that standard forward slash into first hit of Bandit Revolver and begin his loops for combos. Don't forget that Gunflame can be faked, which of course can bait out the opponent into a reckless move or jump, but it also can function as a very quick recovery if you wall splat the opponent, allowing you to go into Fafnir or Super for your maximum damage finishers. While 2D gives knockdown, it also gets a clean hit DP when you're close to them, so you can use it to get surprisingly high damage. Jumping up a slash is a go-to disjointed anti-air, as it can be air dash cancelled or jump cancelled. But in the case of a red RC pop or the enemy placement being in that similar area, it can be converted into a quick JH and JD, then dash and follow it up if you're near the corner. If you get a counter hit close slash or far slash, you can wait and throw out another one and keep the combo true just for fun. Waiting for the timing to input a second one is also really strong, because if the opponent tries to burst thinking you might just instantly Gatling into 5H, you can block their burst and now you just go to town on them. When you have meter, you can suddenly turn the second hit of Bandit Revolver into a very scary high-low mix, or if it connects, you can dash RC down into your charged dust to pop them up, or go into a ton tons of different other options. Speaking of dash RCs, canceling the forward one from the clean hit of his heavy Volcanic Viper will let you soar into the air and follow up with heavy slashes to keep them close, or even another one. Why not? And finally, if you have 100 meter and you end up punishing with a heavy mob cemetery super, you can RC after the pop-up and make your opponent find an extra 19 gigabytes on their hard drive, all that more appealing. So putting all this together, we have a character that is a menace on the advance. Control the mid-screen with far slash and flames, and leap on any hit with his abilities to close the gaps. Threaten with terrifying strikes and throws, taking advantage of plus frames to bait challenges and create massive punish windows. Just advancing at the opponent warrants a response from them, so observe and learn your opponent's tendencies so your well-rounded kit can take advantage of all of them. Check opponent's pressure with a lightning fast 5k and invincible reversals, and learning just these couple core concepts to Sol's structure will allow you to start freestyling and create all your own strings for every scenario. Alright, with this, you have everything you need to play Sol. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for Zato coming soon, and I'll see you later. Peace!